Oh god, how am I gonna explain this massive haul this month? That's it, my birthday. Yeah, let's go with that, my birthday. Hello all of my otaku friends, my name is Profitaku, and welcome back to my channel for my January 2023 manga haul. This month was kind of the setup for the future month. I picked up a lot of new series, things that I knew I wanted to read in 2023. I bulked up a specific part of my collection as I know that this is a genre I specifically want to get into, so it's gonna be a great time. Sit back, relax, and enjoy the manga haul. This first section here are all the things that Yen Press sent to me. I love that they've been supporting content creators in 2023. Thank you guys so much for giving me these huge stack of volume 1s to show off on the channel. First up here we have Assorted Entanglements. I love the artwork on this. It looks like it's an older Yuri setting with office workers. Definitely gives me Donuts Under the Crescent Moon vibe. I love that series. I think this one's gonna be great too. Next up is Doomsday with My Dog. I love post-apocalyptic manga and there's a cute doggy, so of course I'm gonna love it. And this is actually pretty cool because it's a full color 4-coma, so I'm curious to see how this thing flows. Next up is I'm Quitting Heroing. This is a fantasy series. I've been getting more into these really kind of weirder fantasy superhero series, so I'm very excited for this one. Next up here is it's a rap manga, so you know, cover your eyes. Here we are with Apparently Disillusioned Adventures Will Save the World. I actually really like the art on this. This looks really interesting. Of course, it's saran wrap, mature only, but yes, another fantasy series. We'll see how it goes. Next up is a series I've heard a lot of good things about with the source material, which is the light novel, and this is Your Forma Volume 1. This seems like a mystery thriller type of thing, so looks really cool. Next up is The Princess of Convenient Plot Devices Volume 1. We're getting a lot of manga recently with strong female villainous type leads. I hope this fulfills that urge because I've been wanting to get into that genre. I also picked up some light novels recently with that same villainous idea, so yes. Next up here is a pretty thick boy actually. This is Pandora 7 and it's a fantasy series, has Pandora's box in it. Artwork looks fantastic. Definitely something that I'm intrigued by. I really know nothing about this. This is one of the only ones that I just didn't have on my radar. Here we are with two heavy hitters that I really had my eyes on. Big hot releases of 2020. 2023. We have Oshi no Koi Volume 1. This is from the same mangaka who did Kaguya-sama Love is War, so they did the story, and then the art is done by the mangaka who did Scum's Wish. Fantastic collab. I've only heard really dark, crazy, messed up things about this one. And we have a new shoujo series, Honey Lemon Soda Volume 1. This is a really interesting dynamic with a boy who obviously has lemon hair, so really interesting. I really want to dive into shoujo this year, so this is definitely one that I wanted on my radar. Last up here is a novel actually, and it was announced early last year and I had my eyes on it. I was like, oh my gosh, this sounds so sick. And then I saw this in the package. I was like, oh my gosh, Yen Press, like you guys are awesome. And that is, I'm gonna butcher this, Tezcatlipoca. This is a 650-ish page novel, and it basically follows drug cartels as they move from Mexico to the east, and it has all these different lives of these people intertwined in this drug gang type world with blood and violence and messed up political things. I cannot wait to see what this is all about. I've only heard good things. So this next section here are all the big new sets that I picked up. This month, like I said, was all about building the collection for the rest of the year. So there is a big chunk of new series that I picked up. First up is volumes 1 to 10 complete of a series published by Viz that I heard from Jerry from My Waifu and Me. And I was like, this sounds super right up my alley. Jerry has a great taste in comedy, so I definitely trust his opinion. And that is Detroit Metal City. So this series basically follows this nerdy boy who joins this rock band, and they're just comedic hijinks as they try to become the best band possible. The covers look great. The artwork reminds me a lot of Cromartie High School. I love music manga, and I got this set for such a great price. Volumes 2 to 10 were completely sealed, and then volume 1 has been read. So like I said, Jerry said that this was really funny, and it's not very difficult to find, but it's definitely one that I don't see in a lot of people's collection, so I'm super super glad to have it. Next up here are 2 light novel series, believe it or not. My goal also this year is to read lots and lots of light novels, and I've been super into the isekai fantasy, very like laid back, easy reads of light novels. So I picked up these 2 series because I've only heard great things. First up is the NPCs in this village sim game must be real, volumes 1 to 3 complete. I heard lots of great things about the manga adaptation from the Manga Sloth, and it just seems right up my alley. Like I said, it's very similar vibes to the vending machine light novel that I absolutely loved last year, so that's why I picked it up. And this next series is volumes 1 to 7 of a currently airing anime with the season 2, and it's got very high praises, a very easy read, and something that the premise just sounds super funny, and that is Bofuri, I don't want to get hurt, so I'll max out my defense. And just so you know, I have started reading it this month, volumes 1 to 3. I'll talk more extensively about it in my reading log, but if you want something just super easy to read, it only takes me a couple hours to read through one of these volumes, and you want something that's just really fun with a cool power system, I highly recommend this. A perfect light novel series to get into if you want to read more. Next up here is a mangaka that I told myself I would never give another chance. I read one of their series, I didn't really like it, and it's just not a genre I'm into, but I said, you know what? It's time. Dan, it's time to open your heart to this mangaka. And thus, I picked up his most acclaimed work. We have Uzumaki by Junji Ito. We all know what this is about, so I'm not gonna dive into it, but what I will say is my reservations with Junji Ito is that he's a great artist, but in terms of story writing, it's just lackluster at that. In terms of development of characters, progression of story, there's definitely problems in his work, especially in some of his short story collections from what I have heard, and so that's why I've been so hesitant to get into Junji Ito stuff more, but hopefully Uzumaki will let me see the light. We'll find out. Last up here is a series that I picked up from the Right Stuff winter sale on the last week, volumes 1 to 8 of the Case Study of Vanitas. This was pretty hard to find for quite a long time, so not only did we see reprints of this series, but we also saw it got put on the sale, and I was like, whoa, this is awesome, because I have Pandora Hearts and I really wanted to check out this manga because currently serializing work. Great way for me to get it at a great price, so I cannot wait to read this fantasy series. I heard it's pretty confusing in the first 3 volumes, but then once things start to open up and the puzzle pieces start to come together, it's a really fun read. But just looking at these volumes, one of my favorite things are the cover arts. I mean, they're just absolutely beautiful, such great colors. I mean, I just cannot wait to get into this series in 2023. All right, this next section here is Reprint Corner. These are all series that got reprinted at the end of December, the beginning of January, and they got sent to me. And first up, I completed a very highly anticipated set. I have the rest of Slam Dunk volumes 3, 4, 5, 9, 11, 13, 15, and 25. Look, I've been preaching this for years. I placed my order for Slam Dunk at the middle of 2021 for the entire series during one of Right Stuff Viz Media sales, so I got it at a great price, and I said, I'm going to wait. I'm not going to pay these scalper prices, $500 to $600, and my patience was rewarded. I got the brand new reprints, and I'm super happy with the quality. I just cannot believe I have this entire series in my collection. I have not read a sports series to completion since Haikyuu back in like the end of 2020. So I really feel like Slam Dunk is something that's going to really rival that in terms of a sports series that gets a 10 out of 10 from me. Haikyuu is in my top 5, top 10. So I'm really curious to see where this sits. I've never actually read a Takahiko Inoue work, and I actually have a lot of his stuff. So I really need to get on this train, but I cannot wait. Next up, we have the rest of the volumes of Yu Yu Hakusho. I got volume 2 and then volumes 4 to 19. Same idea, actually the same exact month I placed my order for Slam Dunk, I placed the same order for Yu Yu Hakusho, and I waited patiently, and my patience was rewarded. I'm just so glad to have this series by the same mangaka who did Hunter x Hunter. I'm not a big fan of Shonen Jump, which definitely gives me reservations, but if I say that I hate this series, I think that Blue Tempest and Sam from Sam's Side Quest is gonna come to my house and kill me. So this is exactly why I picked this series up. I've only heard heard great things from both of them, so I cannot wait to get into this one. This next section here is Shoujo Josei Corner. This is my #1 goal of 2023, which is to bulk up and read way more shoujo and josei manga. I want to expand my horizons, and so this month was the month to do it, just by coincidence, because things were popping up. I was like, that's a great price, I should pick it up. First up, we have a volume I've waited over 2 years for, so now the set is finally complete and I can read it. That is the coveted My Love Story Volume 12. The Manga Sloth has said this is one of the funniest things he's ever read. I've heard only great things about this rom-com series. This is the same mangaka duo who did My Love Mix-Up, so if you're super into that, highly recommend picking this up, especially with some reprints happening as of late. Next up here is a series I know absolutely nothing about. I know that it's a shoujo, and I got it in a trade alongside Mario Kart 8, so I was like, just throw it in there and I'll go ahead and read it. And that is Kakurio Bed and Breakfast for Spirits fantasy shoujo series. We'll see if I like it. Some more reprints are here with Nana. We have volumes 8, volume 10, and volume 11. I'm almost done piecing together this series. I'm just waiting for volume 12, and I think that's being reprinted at the end of this month or the beginning of next month. Hopefully I get my copy in soon, then I'll have all 21 volumes and I can definitely start reading this mangaka's works. I also have Paradise Kiss. I've just only heard great things about Ai Yaozawa's work, how dramatic it is. It's just a different vibe that I'm really looking forward to in terms of a shoujo manga. And some more Yona of the Dawn volumes came in. I got volumes 26 and 27, so all I'm missing is volume 7 and 17. I heard they were being reprinted very, very soon. I will then have a full complete set. I actually read volume 1 with Shay Geeks Out and Marguerite's manga on this like readathon thing. I'll link the video in a card, and it was so much fun. I loved volume 1. I was just like so surprised because it's such a cool vibe. I highly recommend you check out this political dark romance series. These next 2 sets are from my good friend Kazi on Instagram. Thank you so much, Kazi, for selling these to me at such a great price. First up here, we have the first 3 volumes of Seaside Stranger, a boys love slice of life series set in a coastal city. Seems really, really cute. I've only heard really good things about this critically acclaimed series, and I think there's like 7 or 8 volumes out currently, so I want to read these 3, see if I like this boys love series, and then keep going with it. And this next one is one I've had my eyes on for a while, and I was finally able to grab it. We have A Sign of Affection volumes 1 to 5. This is a very, very highly acclaimed shoujo romance series talking about disabilities with college age students. It seems like something that I'm really going to be into because I love Silent Voice. I love their treatment of the disability in Silent Voice, and I heard that the treatment of the disability in A Sign of Affection is very well done, and I can appreciate something like that, so I'm really think I'm going to enjoy it. Next up is a series that I grabbed for over 60% off. I just couldn't say no, and it wasn't on my radar, but I had been seeing KK-chan as a girl talk about this in her story, and I was like, you know what, I think I ought to give it a shot at this price point, and that is Love of Kill volumes 1 to 9 from Yen Press. As I continue to expand my horizons, I'm trying to see what kinds of romance series are out there, fantasy, light and fluffy things, but this one has guns, assassinations, and blood, and I was like, yeah, like I need it. But at this price point, I just couldn't pass it up. If I don't like it, then I'll go ahead and sell it off, but I think that I would just regret passing something like this up in the future, so I'm glad that I picked it up. And this last series here is labeled as a josei, and that is Something's Wrong with Us volumes 1 to 12. Think soap opera, daytime drama, romance set in an older era. This is the series that everybody cannot stop talking about. It just leaves you on cliffhangers. It continues to move in a crazy direction. So not just one person told me it was good, many people told me it was good. And because this was on the Right Stuff sale, I said, you know what? Let's go ahead and grab it. I'll read it. If I don't like it, I'll sell it off. But yeah, I like Josei series a lot. I really enjoyed Higashimura Sensei's work with Princess Jellyfish, My Blank Canvas. I feel like that the Josei genre is severely underrepresented in the Western audience, so I hope we get more of it because I'm actually thoroughly surprised with how diverse and interesting this genre of manga is. Cannot wait to read this. This last section here are all the single volumes that I picked up, either pre-orders or things that I saw in the wild. First off is a gold manga. I know, gold manga. What does he mean by gold manga? And that is One Piece, the Gold Foil Volume 1. I don't plan on collecting all 23 gold foil volumes, but this is just a nice collector's piece. I was able to give my regular Volume 1 to a friend at the university that I work at, which is fantastic. And believe it or not, with this one, this person was selling it for retail price, which was $8 plus shipping. And I was like, I have to grab it. It was in basically brand new condition, and I just really love the way that this looks. So I'm super glad to have this. Love One Piece. I hope to finish or get up to date with One Piece in 2023. Here we are with the last volume of Afro Samurai Volume 2 in this kind of graphic novel thin edition. Wish we would have just got this in an omnibus, but whatever. At least we got the series. Believe it or not, the publisher of this series, Titan Manga, has been under a lot of scrutiny lately with their rendition of Kamen Rider. There's some really bad translation errors going on, and a lot of people were saying that it was done by a machine translator, which if that's the case, that's a huge issue. Also, there was some editing issues with the paneling, leaving Japanese text in there, also just widening out the Japanese text but not filling it in. It was just really weird seeing it on Twitter. Will we see Titan Manga fall down in a ball of flames? I don't know, but it's not looking good. Next up is Welcome Back Alice, Volume 4, Volumes 1 to 3 were interesting. This is a very weird Shuzo Oshimi series, very sexual in nature. Definitely not the first Shuzo Oshimi series you should read. Next up is Blue Box Volume 2, Shonen Jump Romance Sports Series. I really enjoyed Volume 1. I like the sports aspect of it. Romance, you can take it or leave it. Seems a little bit characteristic of any other romance series that I've read out there, but I will try Volume 2 and see if I will continue this series. Next up is Dan Da Dan Volume 2, a very action-packed, crazy series. I love the premise of it with the aliens and the supernaturals. I think it works really well. I like the main characters, and I think that I'm thoroughly going to enjoy this because it's just crazy, and that's the Shonen Jump itch that I need. 2 Bungo Stray Dog volumes coming your way. We have Bungo Stray Dogs Volume 22 of the main series, and Bungo Stray Dogs Beast Volume 4, which finishes up this side series. I love Bungo Stray Dogs. I've read through the first 9 volumes of the main series, and I think it's very well done. It just feels like I'm reading a movie, which is really cool. I like the power system. I like the supernatural aspect, and actually the cast of characters, though pretty big, are all really interesting. So if you're looking for a critically acclaimed series, Bungo Stray Dogs is your answer. Next up is an out-of-print manga I decided to give a shot on because I've heard good things about this mangaka specifically, but this is a 2-volume series. Only the first volume was published in English, so it actually never got finished, and that is Shirley by Karu Mori. I'm really intrigued by this series. Definitely gives me vibes of Emma, obviously with the Victorian maid type of thing. Artwork is very simple. This is one of her first series to get pushed over to the West, so we'll see if I like this. I'm gonna read Emma before I read this because that was what was recommended to me, and I think I will appreciate it more because of that. Next up is Kaiju number 8, number 5. But yeah, I enjoy Kaiju number 8. That's it. Great art, good story. It's fine. Next up is a Shonen Jump series I am patiently waiting for reprints for, just like the other Shonen Jump series I got reprinted, and that is Yu-Gi-Oh! In the Omnibus. So this is Omnibus 3. I have a lot of the later half, and then I have Omnibus 1 and Omnibus 3. I'd love to get Omnibus 2 so that I can go ahead and start this Yu-Gi-Oh! Series, but I have all the series on order, so I will wait. Here we are with some mecha, because of course we have to have mecha. Mobile Suit Gundam Thunderbolt Volume 11. This has also been out of stock for quite a while. They just did a reprint of this, so now I can go ahead and get up to date with this series. I'm just missing Volume 4. That one will eventually get reprinted, but I read that one online on a scan, so I'm not in a rush to grab it. I'm just not going to pay over retail for it. Shuzo Oshimi time, Blood on the Tracks, Volume 12. Blood on the Tracks, best Shuzo Oshimi work, changed my mind. Here we are with Makoto Yukimura's Vinland Saga Volume 13. I read the first 2 omnibuses back in 2020 and I just stopped. I don't know why. This isn't on my 2023 TBR, but I feel like it should be, along with Berserk, so that you guys will stop pestering me about it. Vinland Saga, it just got announced that they have a 3-in-1 now coming out from Kodansha. It's like, come on, these are already nice enough. We don't need a 3-in-1 in one. Apparently these are going to be oversized like the silent voice ones, and they're going to be leather bound, kind of like the Berserk Deluxe editions. I'm not double dipping. I'm sticking with this. It's just not worth it. And this last volume is a series that I could not shut up about last year. It's just something that I just want to put on people's radar, and that is The Country Without Humans Volume 3, a slice of life post-apocalyptic sci-fi mecha series following this girl who lives in a world where everything is robots except for her, but then there's something weird with her, so all these government robots are trying to get her. Really, really weird. Some cool lore in here. I cannot wait to see what Volume 3 brings. And that is it for my January 2023 manga haul. A great month, some phenomenal series. I just cannot wait to dive into all these things and be able to talk about them with all my friends on Instagram. As always, if you enjoy my videos, please hit that like button, tap that subscribe button, hit that notification bell so that you know when more of my videos come out, and I will see you in the next one. Take care now. Bye-bye.